The philosophy of progress. 7 laws to live by. On the long journey of life, we often encounter confusion, uncertainty, and even disappointment. Yet the wisdom that guides us forward is frequently embedded in principles that appear simple on the surface. These laws contain profound insights and the accumulated experience of generations, offering direction as we navigate an increasingly complex world. The lotus law, the apple law, the flea law, the status law, the crab law, the bamboo law, and the cicada law. Together, these 7 principles illuminate essential truths about perseverance, decision-making, mindset, self-awareness, and the influence of one's environment. Collectively, they provide a coherent philosophical framework for understanding the nature of success and the pursuit of meaningful well-being. Let us now examine these laws in greater depth. Through understanding them, we may discover clarity during times of uncertainty, resilience during hardship, and extraordinary value within the ordinary moments of life. 1. The lotus law. Transformation arrives at the final moment. In a pond where the number of blooming lotus flowers doubles each day, if the pond becomes fully covered on the 30th day, it is only half covered on the 29th. The final day's growth equals the accumulation of the previous 29 days. This is the lotus law, a striking illustration of how gradual accumulation can suddenly lead to dramatic change. For nearly a month, the expansion is slow and almost imperceptible, yet each incremental increase contributes to the foundation of the final magnificent bloom. This pattern mirrors many aspects of human endeavor, extended periods of steady effort with minimal visible return, followed by a breakthrough that seems instantaneous. People often fail not because they lack capability, but because they abandon their efforts just before success becomes possible. The lotus law reminds us that perseverance is frequently rewarded only at the very end. Whether learning a new skill, pursuing academic research, or establishing a business, sustained effort is required. As Thomas Edison noted, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Behind each remarkable achievement lies the quiet, persistent work that preceded it. 2. The apple law, the discipline of discernment. Consider a basket of apples, some fresh, some nearly spoiled. Many instinctively choose to consume the inferior apples first, attempting to avoid waste. Yet the wiser choice is to enjoy the fresh ones and discard the spoiled ones. By prioritizing the bad apples, the good ones soon deteriorate, leaving one with little genuine enjoyment. This is the apple law. Those who cannot distinguish priorities ultimately sacrifice what matters most. It teaches the importance of discernment and the willingness to let go. In time management, resource allocation, and long-term planning, identifying what is truly valuable is essential. Tagore once observed that even a bird adorned with gold cannot fly if its wings are constrained. In the same way, acquiring more is not always equivalent to gaining what is meaningful. We cannot pursue every option simultaneously. Attempting to do so often leads to achieving none. The apple law encourages us to establish clear values, make decisions with conviction, and, as Goethe noted, avoid trying to ride 2 horses at the same time. It also reminds us that certain opportunities, situations, or relationships may have already spoiled. Holding on to them only prevents us from embracing what is better suited for our lives. 3. The flea law, overcoming self-inflicted boundaries. A flea can jump more than 400 times its own height. Yet when placed under a glass cup, it repeatedly strikes the barrier, adjusts its behavior, and soon jumps only as high as the glass allows. Lower the cup, and the flea adapts again. Eventually, even when the glass is removed, it no longer jumps high. This illustrates the flea law. The most restrictive limitations are often those we impose on ourselves. Humans, like fleas under glass, frequently possess far greater potential than they realize. However, past failures, discouraging remarks, or fear of uncertainty can create internal barriers that are difficult to escape. Aristotle famously stated, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. When self-limitation becomes habitual, it effectively shapes reality. To overcome such constraints, we must examine the beliefs that hold us back. When the mind says I can't, we must ask whether this reflects a fact or merely an assumption. Psychological research consistently affirms that a person's belief in their own ability often has more impact than the ability itself. Removing the metaphorical glass cup is essential for reaching one's true potential. 4. The status law, appreciating one's own position. Imagine one person standing at the base of a mountain and another standing at its peak. Though the difference in altitude is significant, each person appears the same size to the other. This is the status law. It teaches us not to envy others because others may well envy us. Residents of small towns may admire the vibrancy of city life, while city dwellers may long for the calm simplicity of small towns. Envy distorts perception, causing us to overlook our blessings and generating dissatisfaction without reason. Happiness arises less from one's circumstances and more from how one perceives them. Marcel Proust observed that the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. In an age defined by curated social media images and constant comparison, this insight is especially relevant. Every individual walks a unique path. Comparison is, therefore, futile. Fulfillment emerges from valuing one's own life rather than measuring it against others. 5. The crab law, the influence of one's social environment. A single crab in a basket requires a lid to prevent escape. However, when multiple crabs are placed together, no lid is necessary. They pull one another down whenever one attempts to climb out. This is the crab law. Its essence is envy, insecurity, and obstruction. Certain individuals cannot tolerate the progress of others and instinctively attempt to hinder it. Such behavior harms not only the group, but the individuals themselves. The crab law highlights the importance of choosing one's environment carefully. Negative or resentful surroundings impede growth, offering competition and discouragement rather than support. Truly mature individuals celebrate the success of others and draw inspiration from it rather than feeling threatened. A well-known guiding principle often attributed to Margaret Thatcher concludes, "Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny." Our environment significantly shapes our thoughts, habits, and long-term outcomes. Thus, we should surround ourselves with people who uplift, encourage, and grow alongside us, not those who pull us downward. 6. The bamboo law, quiet preparation before rapid growth. A bamboo plant grows only a few centimeters in its first 4 years. Yet in the 5th year, it accelerates dramatically, sometimes growing nearly a foot each day and reaches impressive heights within weeks. During the earlier years, its efforts were focused on developing an extensive root system underground. Life follows a similar pattern. Every effort contributes to unseen foundations. Many individuals falter simply because they cannot endure the early phase of slow, almost invisible progress. Success is rarely instantaneous. It is accumulated gradually through sustained, diligent work. Albert Einstein once remarked, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." All significant accomplishments are rooted in preparation and patience. The bamboo's quiet early years make its rapid ascent possible. Similarly, our unseen efforts lay the groundwork for future breakthroughs. 7. The cicada law, perseverance before transformation. A cicada spends several years underground in darkness, slowly developing and growing. Then, on a single summer night, it climbs a tree, sheds its shell, and emerges transformed, singing freely in the open air. This is the cicada law. The closer one is to transformation, the more challenging the process often becomes, and the more essential perseverance becomes. Many people give up moments before achieving their breakthrough. Winston Churchill summarized this truth eloquently. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Every meaningful transformation requires a period of hardship. Only those who endure the long preparatory phase can eventually rise. 7 laws, 7 forms of wisdom. The lotus, bamboo, and cicada laws emphasize perseverance and long-term accumulation. The apple and crab laws underscore the importance of discernment and environment. The flea and status laws deepen our understanding of ourselves and our relationships with others. Life is not about choosing the most effortless path, but the most purposeful one and remaining committed to it. Many difficulties arise from neglecting simple truths. Once we understand these principles, we can navigate life with greater clarity and composure. Every decision shapes a different future. Wisdom lies in choosing well and persisting consistently. May these 7 laws offer insight and resilience, guiding you with confidence and clarity. When we internalize their teachings, we find direction in a complex world and cultivate a richer, more meaningful life. Success and happiness are seldom accidental. They emerge from sound choices, sustained effort, and a balanced mindset. Remember, the world is ultimately yours to shape. Continue forward. Continue growing. Become the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to share this with others who may benefit from it. Your engagement is greatly appreciated.